Welcome back. All right, so I'm going to say at the start, there was a trade that happened tonight with Michael Granlund going to Pittsburgh, but that was really all that happened after the last news video I did. So I'll add that to a news video for tomorrow morning. When I get up, I'm sure we'll have all kinds of other trades to discuss. This year's trade deadline has suddenly become absolutely bonkers, which is good because after a full season of not much happening, it is nice to have some bonkers going on. Speaking of which, the Philadelphia Flyers at home against the Rangers tonight. The Rangers not yet with Kane in their lineup. That's expected tomorrow. Shesterkin versus Hart in this one. And 5 defensemen for the Rangers. So the Rangers playing a man short. The Rangers press at 2 minutes. They end up getting a power play and they score on it. At 2:51 at Zibanejad from Tarasenko and Panarin. It was a great pass. One-timer, only 16 seconds into the power play where they get that one. Flyers then go to the power play. Ristolainen fires one wide. It's cleared. There's a shorthanded rush for Hedel. That saved. The power play's killed off. No shots for Philly on that one. Trocheck's tonight as the Rangers rush the other way. Cates then had a rush chance. That's defended. Flyers go back to the power play. It's killed off as well. The Rangers go back to the box. This is the third penalty or power play for the Flyers, and they score on this one. It's Tippett from Ristolainen at 15:05. It was a one-timer on a bouncing puck. Better second half for the Flyers, and after one period of play, it is 1-1. Second period, Hedel fires one wide on a rush. Kakko's then denied as the Rangers press. Again, the kid line playing well. There's a near miss for Tippett on an open net. The interesting thing is that we're in Philly, and we get Igor chance, even though it was a miss. So I thought that was entertaining. Rangers press at 6 minutes. Shots are 3 apiece at 6.5 minutes. Pretty evenly played, honestly, considering Philadelphia's, as far out of the playoffs as they are. We get a post for Allison from the slot. The Rangers press at 8.5 minutes. Tippett has a near miss on a rush. The Flyers press. Hayes has a tip shot that's held. The Flyers press again, and they score. It is Lawton who puts them ahead from Hayes at 11:16, and he roofs it. Things then get pushy on a hold by Igor. The Rangers press with 5 minutes left, but coming out of the second period, it is 2-1 in favor of the Flyers. Third period, post for Gaudreau. Early edge for the New York Rangers. Hedel has a near miss on a rush. Trouba goes beast mode, but that's defended to the outside by the Flyers. Lafreniere's denied from the side of the net. There's a near miss for D'Angelo as the Flyers press. Trocheck misses wide from in close, and then tipped in to tie it. Kreider at 10:33, Tarasenko with the assist. So Tarasenko with 2 helpers in this one, and suddenly it's 2-2. 4 minutes left. The Flyers press after a turnover. The Flyers also press in the final minute, but we're going to overtime. In the overtime, Rangers control early. They won another face-off too. Zibanejad's net drive's defended. Tippett clears. The Rangers, they do get the puck back. And then Tarasenko gets a goal to go with his 2 helpers. Hedel with the assist at 2:32, and he wired that one on a rush. So the Rangers survive a bit of a scare. They win 3-2 in overtime. They go to 32-17-9 with the win. The Flyers 23-28-11 with the overtime loss. Shots in this one, 10-9 Philly in the first, 10-9 Philly in the second, 8-6 Philly in the third. The Rangers had the only shot in overtime. That's all they needed. Final shots, 28-25 for the Flyers. The Rangers 1 for 1 on the power play. Philadelphia 1 for 3. There were no power plays after the first period. Hits were 35-30 for Philadelphia. Shesterkin, 26 saves on 28 shots. The Igor chance may have helped him there. And Carter Hart, 22 saves on 25 shots. He had a good night as well, but takes the loss in that one. All right, next up, the Oilers at home against Toronto. This always feels like a big deal because it's Matthews versus McDavid. I think it also feels like a big deal because they're in opposite conferences. They only meet twice a year, right? So 10 days from now, Toronto will be trying to get their revenge. It's Samsonov versus Skinner. They had the Molson Cup they presented to Connor McDavid. The Molson Cup is something that I missed from when I was a kid, where basically it's 3-star selections to decide who gets it. I really enjoyed that as a kid. I was sad when it went away. I'm glad to see there are some teams that still use it. Marner has a rush chance that's held. Yamamoto has a net feed, near miss. We get go Leafs go chance. There were a lot of Leafs fans there. We had dueling chance at points during the game as well. The Oilers would get a power play and they would score on it. At 3:49, it's McDavid with his 51st from Draisaitl and Nugent-Hopkins. He buries the rebound there. I think for Draisaitl, that's his 90th point too. Near miss for Hyman. Then the Leafs get a power play. Matthews has a shot that's blocked and cleared out. Liljegren's denied. That's killed off. 2 shots. Yarncroke then had a turnover blast that's held. McCabe had a shot that's held. The shots are even at 6 apiece with that one. Shores then denied as the Oilers press. The Leafs score. The Oilers thought the entry was offside and stopped playing. I've talked about this before. You play to the whistle. They didn't. Kampf ends up scoring from Marner at 12:15. Now, Oiler fans were mad because there was no challenge, but there wasn't a definitive angle that showed it was offside. You do not want to challenge that and end up on the penalty kill. And again, I underlined right there, play to the whistle. You have to play until you hear the whistle. McDavid, though, he gets one at 13:53. So not long after, Hyman with the assist, and that's buried on a turnover. So that's 52 for McDavid. Leafs press for an answer, but before the period's out, Zach Hyman, the former Leaf himself, wires one top corner from Ekholm and McDavid at 18:05. So Ekholm with his first point as an Oiler. I thought he had a good game. McDavid with 2 goals and an assist in the first period. Second period, early press by the Leafs. Hyman's then denied on a 2-on-1. There was a wraparound as well by Hyman. That saved. Shots are 3-0 Oilers at 5.5 minutes. Hall has a shot that's held as the Leafs press. And then Yamamoto deflects one in from Ceci and Nurse at 8:46. The Oilers then look for more. Tavares couldn't bury one. McDavid saved a goal there. So for all of the McDavid doesn't backcheck, McDavid doesn't defend. You should have watched this game because he absolutely does. The Oilers press with 7 minutes left. Marner has a net feed that's blocked by Nurse. And then at 17:12, the Oilers score their 5th goal of the game. It's Kostin from McLeod and Foegele. Top shelf, one-timer. No chance on that one for Samsonov. The Oilers score, but there's a penalty on the play, so that wipes out that goal. Would have been 6-1, but instead it's 5-1 after 2. Third period, a minute and a half in, or there's a Leafs penalty with 30 seconds left on that play. So there's a 1:30 left in that power play to start the third period. They do score during that. It's Marner from Riley and Matthews at 1:08. Good cycle, and he buries it. The Oilers then get a power play. Foegele tips one wide after a quick whistle. That's killed off. Samsonov holds. Tavares fires one wide on a rush. The Oilers press at 8.5 minutes. We get a power play for Edmonton, becomes a 4-on-4 and gets to be a real parade. Lots of penalties. Everything's killed off and we're down to 2:45 left. Hyman's then denied on a breakaway. The Oilers end up winning this one 5-2. They go to 33-21-8 with the win. Best win I've seen Edmonton get in weeks. Toronto 37-16-8 with the loss. They're in Calgary tomorrow night. Shots in this one 14-11 Edmonton in the first, 11-6 Edmonton in the second, 11-7 Toronto in the third. Final shots 32-28 for the Oilers. Power plays Toronto 1 for 3, Edmonton 1 for 4. The hits 25-22 for Edmonton. Samsonov saves 27 out of 32. Skinner saves 26 out of 28. So Skinner outduels Samsonov, and the Oilers get a win and a little bit of bragging rights in Canada for at least today. Next up, Arizona and Dallas. This did look like it was going to be an upset, and then it wasn't. Ingram versus Ottinger in this one. Power play for the Stars. That's killed off. Just the one shot allowed by Arizona. Shots are 4-1 for Dallas, though, 5 minutes in. They really dominated this game. Power play for the Coyotes. The Stars clear early. They kill that off. No shots for Arizona on their power play. Stars press at 8.5 minutes, but they're kept to the outside. And then at 10:28, Hayden wires one from in close. Second shot of the game for Arizona goes in. Valimaki with the assist. Stars look to respond. Fox is denied. The Coyotes go back to the power play, and they score on this one. It's Keller from Valimaki and Schmaltz at 13:47. Post and in through a screen, and that was the third shot. So rough start statistically for Ottinger. I don't know if he had a chance in either of those goals, and it's 2-0 for Arizona. Coyotes go back to the power play. That one's killed off. Hintz to Robertson's blocked on a 2-on-1. They take that personal. They have a strong forecheck, and Hintz wires one at 18:43. Robertson with the assist on that. Coyotes then look for an answer. The Stars would press to tie it before the end of the period. It's 2-1 Arizona after one. Second period, early Stars power play. There's a shorthanded 2-on-1 for the Coyotes. That fizzles out. And then Sagan gets the power play goal from Dodonov and Johnston at 1:50. Again, Evgeny Dodonov fitting in very well with Dallas. It was a good cycle, and Sagan wires it there. We get a power play for the Stars soon after. And then that's killed off. The Stars would press after that was done. McBain has a rush chance that's defended by Heiskanen. Schmaltz takes a puck to the ear/jaw. It didn't look great. Hopefully Schmaltz is okay on that one. Olofsson can't bury one on a rebound. That's cleared out. The shots are 7-4 for the Stars at 9.5 minutes. Johnston's denied on a rush. Robertson fires one high as the Stars press. There's a crossbar for Hintz. Stars with all kinds of momentum once they tied it. And then there's a press by the Coyotes with 4 minutes left. But going to the third period, it felt like this was Dallas's game if they could just have a good period, and they did. Krause has a shot that's blocked early in the third. Ben's denied on a fast break. Posts continued for the Stars. I think they had like 4 or 5 posts in this game. Shots on net are 3-0 Dallas at 3 minutes, and then Heiskanen puts them ahead from Miller and Sagan at 4:38. So Sagan getting some points tonight. That deflected in during a good press. Power play for the Stars then, that's killed off, but it takes 2 minutes off the clock. Coyotes then get a power play, that's killed off. There's a near miss for Sagan in close. The shots are 11-4 for Dallas with 5 minutes left. 4:09 left, the Coyotes get their 5th power play. During that power play, Sagan pokes one in off the goal line. Shorthanded goal. Foxa with the assist at 16-12. And right after that goes in, Arizona realizes they're down by 2. They pull the goalie to go 6-on-4. It becomes a 6-on-5. Doesn't matter. Dallas wins this one 4-2. They go to 32-16-13. Arizona 21-31-9. And hey, with the way things have been going for Dallas, I was happy to see a win over Arizona. It's a start. So the shots in this one, 11-5 Dallas in the first, 16-9 Dallas in the second, 14-6 Dallas in the third. Final shots, 41-20 for the Stars. Power plays, Arizona 1 for 5, Dallas 1 for 4. Both teams had 20 hits in this game. Ingram saves 37 out of 41. He was excellent. Ottinger allowed 2 goals on the first 3 shots and saved the next 17. Ends up saving 18 out of 20 overall. And yeah, Dallas kind of survives the scare there. All right, next up. The last one on this board is the crazy one. New Jersey and Colorado, which skews all the goal-scoring numbers for the rest of the games tonight, because there's only 6. So when you've got one game that's got 12 goals, that's going to throw everything off. So it's Vanacek versus Anunen in this one. Eller was playing for the Avalanche in this one. Palat scores early. On the first shot, buries a turnover chance. Palat from Bratt at 107. So, yeah, 1-0 right away for New Jersey. Then there's a near miss for Wood on a 3-on-1. The shots are 4-2 Devils, 5 minutes into this. McKinnon has a shot that's blocked. The next one's saved. Strong back check by the Devils in this one. Pressed by New Jersey at 7.5 minutes. Was the puck jammed in? There's no indication from the ref. They talk it over, and yes, the puck crossed the line. It counts. Bastian from McLeod and Severson at 7:52. So the Avs challenged for goalie interference. I was kind of surprised because I thought, no, I don't see it, and apparently neither did the refs. So it becomes a power play for the Devils. That's killed off, though, just the one shot allowed. But then Tatar at 11:27 scores from Hischier and Mercer. Tic-tac-toe play, and he buries it, so that makes it 3-0. Devils press with 2.5 minutes left. It looks like this is going to be a laugher until McKinnon scores from Nichushkin and Lehkonen in 1946. So late goal makes it 3-1. Colorado has some life in this one. Second period, better start for the Avs, and then I regretted writing that on the board because at 3:13 it's Hamilton, making it 4-1, and so I put underneath so much for that. Power play for the Devils, near miss for Bratt, the Avs clear, and then with 1 second left on the power play, Wood scores from Howlett and Mercer at 5:53. So this is a 5-1 game. It looks like this is going to be ugly. I was wondering if I was going to be, no mercy magnet time. No, that doesn't happen. Rantanen scores from Manson and Newhook at 7:32. That was a turnover by New Jersey in their own zone. Colorado makes them pay. Then there was a post for Lehkonen right before McKinnon. He gets one from Byram at 9 minutes. That was 5-hole on a net drive. Confer would add another 36 seconds later. So all of a sudden, you've got all these goals. It's a 5-4 game. Hischier's denied the next shift. Post for Nichushkin. Newhook's denied. And then at 16:59, Mercer scores from Graves. And then the Devils would press to close out the period. So they're ahead by 2 going into the third period at 6-4. It's kind of ugly, but kind of entertaining as long as you're not a coach that really likes defense. So third period, Avs score. There's an offside challenge. It's a good goal, puts the Avs on the power play. It's Nichushkin from Lehkonen and Girard at 1:26. So both teams with failed challenges tonight. And that was the end of the night for Vanacek as well. Schmid went in the net. And it wouldn't have mattered if they took that goal off the board. It still would have meant Schmid was in the net. And what a difference that made, because Colorado had a good third period. Girard has a shot that's held as the power play comes to an end. That was on the failed challenge, right? The Avs press at 9 minutes. Schmid's holding at this point. He's absolutely fantastic. Shots are 9-5 for the Avs with 7.5 minutes left. They would pull the goaltender with 2.5 minutes left. And Hischier hits the empty net from Tatar at 18:46. The Avs immediately call a timeout. Whatever they discuss doesn't work. Your final score is 7-5 for New Jersey. They go to 40, 15, and 5 with the win. For Colorado, 34-20-5. Their 6-game winning streak is done. Shots in this one, 12-10 New Jersey in the first, 10-8 New Jersey in the second, 13-7 Colorado in the third. Final shots, 31-29 for Colorado. Power plays, 1 for 2 for New Jersey, 0 for 1 for Colorado. Hits, 23-13 for Colorado. Vanacek saves 14 out of 19. Akira Schmid with 12 saves on 12 shots. Noonan saves 22 out of 28 at the other end. And now I need to change boards. So, it is possible this is a preview of a Stanley Cup final matchup, Carolina and the Vegas Golden Knights. So it's Anderson versus Hill in this one. Fast has a rebound, held early chances for the Canes. They were up on the shots 2-0, 2.5 minutes in, but they had a lot of chances. Not everything's hitting the net. Svechnikov has a net drive that's held. Vegas was really kind of flat in the first half of that period. Pressed by the Canes with 7 minutes left. Vegas gets a power play. The Canes don't let them set up. They kill that off. No shots. The crowd getting kind of restless about the power play there. But that's the only power play in the game. That's it. So again, it's a Canes game without a lot of power plays. Fans call one. The referee doesn't. Chatfield then has a buzzer beater attempt. That's saved. It's scoreless after one. Second period. Solid defense by both until 5 minutes and 11 seconds in. Eichel scores from Carrier and Theodore. He wires that one from the slot. Eichel had an excellent game tonight. A lot of negativity and naysaying around Eichel. Honestly, this is the best game I think he's played all year. Shots are 4-0 for Vegas at 6 minutes, so they come out much better in the second than they did in the first. Jarvis has a blast that deflects wide. Canes press, but they're kept to the outside. Natchez has a net feed that's held. Pesce then had a screenshot that's held. Vegas not allowing the Canes to get any kind of sustained press. Smith to Carlson at the net is blocked. The puck goes the other way. Natchez wires it on an end-to-end rush. Teravainen with the assist at 13:02. It's all-star moves right there, isn't it? So it's 1-1. Cotter then has a shot that's blocked as Vegas presses. Momentum for the Golden Knights. Canes are blocking him out. Burns then has a screenshot that's held. Carrier had a wraparound chance that's saved. And then on a breakaway, Eichel makes it 2-1 from Barbashev and Kessel at 18:52. It was a great pass by Barbashev. I think Vegas fans are really going to like Barbashev. Things get brawly with 26.3 seconds left on an offside. They felt that there was a bump that took place on that offside. So it's 2-1 Vegas after 2. Third period, early Slavin chances held. Canes had some momentum. Svechnikov's net feed to Aho's blocked. The shots are 2-1 for the Canes at 5 minutes. So momentum, yes. Lots of shots on net? No. Stevenson couldn't bury on a 2-on-1 opportunity. Natchez has a rush chance that's held. Things get pushy after a hold by Hill. And then Stahl ties the game from Burns and Slavin at 12:45. And it really was just a matter of them giving the Canes way too many chances. So that goes in, ties it up. But at 16:18, on a rush opportunity, Riley Smith gets the lead back. Amadio and Carlson with the assists. There was a goaltender pull with 2:05 left. The Canes cannot tie it. They lose this one 3-2 in Vegas. Vegas goes to 36-19-6 with the win. Carolina 39-12-8 with the loss. This is their second straight loss in regulation, I do believe. Shots 9-6 Carolina in the first, 11-6 Vegas in the second, 11-3 Carolina in the third. Final shots 26-20 for Carolina. Power plays, Carolina had 0. Vegas had 1, did not score on it. Hits 29-24 Vegas. Anderson saved 17 out of 20. And Aiden Hill, 24 saves on 26 shots. So the idea that maybe they bring in Jonathan Quick, Hill's not a fan of that idea, and he played like he wasn't a fan of that idea tonight. So we'll see what happens with Vegas. All right, and the last game of the night, Washington and Anaheim. The Bedard Bowl, I guess we can have Bedard Bowls now that Washington sold off a lot of their players, but they haven't really mailed it in yet, have they? So it's Kemper versus Gibson, good early back and forth. The shots are 3-1 Capitals. It's only a minute and a half in. Power play for the Ducks. They were 1 for their last 15. Doesn't get better in this one. There's a short-handed Dowd shot that goes off Gibson's mask. That power play's killed off. Ducks are stuck at 1 shot. And at 8:58, with the Ducks still sitting at 1 shot, Fehervary opens the scoring for the Caps. Backstrom and McElrath with the assists. Caps press at the half, but on their 4th shot, the Ducks tie it. It's Terry from Zegras and Fowler at 13:01. He wires that one from the slot. So after 1 period, it's a 1-1 tie. Second period, power play for the Caps. There's a near miss for Oshie. The Caps cycle. That's killed off. The Ducks then rush the other way. They would press. They're kept to the outside. The Caps go back to the power play. There's some cycling. The Ducks block. Strome is denied. Remember, there's a Strome on each team in this game, so you got to keep that straight. The shots are 11-1 for the Capitals with 8.5 minutes left. So again, Gibson is keeping this one close. And what's interesting too is there's a near miss for Wilson as the Caps press. And I will agree with the announcers on this one, the Washington announcers. It looked like Ovechkin considered the lacrosse goal. He considered trying the Michigan. He did. And so we'll see with post-game interviews if he'll, talk about whether or not he thought about it. Maybe he's thinking about something else. Maybe springtime, maybe trees and flowers, that kind of thing, because we're getting to that time of year. But either way, he was behind the net, didn't end up doing it. Ducks press with 6.5 minutes left. Ovechkin has a shot that's blocked as the Caps press. Fehervary has a chance to deflect out. Things get punchy after a hold by Kemper. It stays 1-1 after 2. Third period, 8 seconds in. A one-timer from the slot on a turnover. So the face-off's won by the Ducks. It immediately goes to Van Riemsdyk, who gets it to Wilson, and 8 seconds in, Wilson gets the goal to put them up 2-1. Then there's a penalty shot for Mantha shortly thereafter. That's fired wide. We get a power play for the Ducks, and right after it ends, Zegras gets his 20th of the season from McTavish and Shattenkirk at 4:17. We then had a fight between Wilson and Beaulieu. I'm not sure what Beaulieu was thinking there. Wilson's a strong guy. This is why when people are like, I hope somebody ends Wilson. Good luck. He's tough. So if we're going to send somebody out to fight him. Okay. Shots are 5-3 for the Ducks at 6 minutes. I'm sure Wilson's like, oh no, somebody's going to fight me. Oh gosh, what'll happen now? Strome couldn't bury a rebound for the Ducks, so that's Ryan Strome. Caps press at 9.5 minutes. This is the 16th start in a row for John Gibson that he's had to make 30-plus saves. So, again, this is why people praise him and talk about how solid he is as a goaltender, because he's always under siege. Caps press with 8.5 minutes left. What else are they going to do? Zegras has a one-timer that's held. 2:13 left. There's a delay game call. Gives the Caps a power play with 57.2 seconds left. They call a timeout, but we end up going to overtime. The Caps control early, and at 1:09, Wilson ends it, buries it in close. Oshie and Alexiev with the assists. And so your final score is 3-2 for the Caps. In overtime, they go to 30-27-6. On the Ducks side, 20-34-8 with the overtime loss. Shots in this one, 13-9 Washington in the first, 17-4 Washington in the second. So they outshot them 30-13 through 2 periods, and it was a 1-1 draw. In the third, Anaheim actually outshoots Washington 10-8, and then the Washington Capitals had the only shot of the overtime. That's all they needed. Final shots, 39-23 for the Caps. Power plays, Washington 0-3. Ovechkin really isn't Ovechkin right now, and I mean, coming through losing his father, that very well could be sending his game off a little bit. Anaheim 0-2 on their power play. Hits 16-14 Anaheim. Kemper 21 saves on 23 shots. Gibson 36 saves on 39 shots. It's sort of like when Markstrom came back to play after his father passed. His game wasn't the same for, I want to say, about the first month after he came back, but I don't know that it was that long. It's not an easy thing, even for pro sports players. It's tough. Losing a parent's never an easy thing. At any rate, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below regarding any of these games. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I look forward to more trade deadline craziness and trying to fit the regularly scheduled programming in while that craziness is going on. Thanks again for all your support. I will talk to you guys soon enough.